Welcome back to the channel, and Manchester United have released the new Old Trafford. Now, I'll be putting the pictures on throughout this video, so make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and comment down below your thoughts on the new stadium's design and the images that are shown. I'm going to be talking about Old Trafford because it is been confirmed that Manchester United will still play at Old Trafford whilst the construction of the new stadium is going underway. It's supposed to be taking around 5 years before full construction is completed. So Manchester United will be at least at Old Trafford for the next 4 to 5 years, which is great because obviously Old Trafford is still such an iconic stadium. And even though it's been falling down and been mistreated for so long, I still have that warmth in my heart to it, and that's just me as a young fan. I'm 21 years old, for God's sake. I mean, I haven't had the privilege of watching the prime days of Manchester United. I don't really know every nut, cranny and detail when it comes to the history in Old Trafford, but all I know is that it's an iconic stadium, and as a season ticket holder as well, even though it's not the best at United at the moment, the stadium is what makes United half the time. I mean, the fans, the passion, everything about it. Even hearing Country Road, for God's sake, it gives me goosebumps every single time. And Old Trafford will be greatly missed. But for every single fan out there who talks about Manchester United, about how we need to progress forward as a club, the stadium comes along with that. And that might be an unpopular opinion, but if United want to be back on top in this modern day era, then we need to have the best infrastructure, the best stadium, the best team. And that comes with sacrifice, much like Sir Jim Ratcliffe said in his interview yesterday. Now, I'll make another video on that when I've watched the full interview, but fans can't complain about the stadium being knocked down, but then in the second sentence be talking about how they want Manchester United to be winning Premier League titles again, because this team has been declining for well over a decade now. It's been, 12 years since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, and the stadium has been mistreated, yes, by the Glazers, and maybe if the Glazers or we had different owners and they actually kept updating Old Trafford as time went on, we wouldn't be in this position, and we still would be keeping the stadium in Old Trafford, and we would have upgraded as time goes on. But it's been, over 20 years since it's had any refurbishments. Like, yes, I had a bit of a new coat of paint over the last few years, but we still get roof leaks. We have them or mice infestations at times. Too much has happened, especially with that stadium, and it is falling apart. So every Manchester United fan right now, we don't like change. That's not even just Manchester United fans. That comes to us as human beings. A lot of human beings don't like change, and a lot of fans are very angry at the moment when it comes to the ownership, and especially under Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And the stadium, we knew this was going to come. It was like a 80% chance in the back of my mind that a new stadium was going to get built. It was a very slim chance to actually upgrade Old Trafford. But as long as we take parts of Old Trafford to the new Old Trafford, I'm not sure what the name's going to be yet. No one knows. But the fact we have an opportunity to have a mega stadium that looks like something off an animated movie, maybe whether you want to compare it to Star Wars, whether you want to talk about Japanese cartoons or anime or something, it just looks surreal. It doesn't look real. And I understand it's the plans and it's the animations and stuff, but it looks like a metro. What's the word? It's now like a mega city. Like, I don't know, metropolis, whatever it's called. It just looks like a city. Like, it does. It's not just about the stadium. And as a local lad who's grown up in Eccles all his life, who lives in Manchester, to be able to, I love traveling with my girlfriend. I'm going to speak to you on a personal level now. I love traveling with my girlfriend. I've been to the countries of Morocco, we've been to Paris, we've been to Turkey, we've been to so many countries together, and we just love looking at different types of designs and history of the countries and cities we've been to. But as a local lad from Manchester, to be able to look at these plans of images and look what it's going to do to my city, I'm in awe of it. And you know what? I want it. I really want to be able to say, you know what? This is what it means to be a part of Manchester. It's not the Trafford Centre anymore. We've got Old Trafford. That's one of the main focal points of our city and even the country, because this shits on the likes of Wembley. It shits on the likes of London. Like, Manchester could be the new London almost. Like, and I might be getting a bit carried away here, but to look at these plans and to be able to say that my team in Manchester United are going to be playing in that stadium, it's surreal. 100,000 seats in the stadium. Yes, obviously, if you want to talk about the immoral side of it when it comes to price inflation, obviously with the Glazers and whatever you feel about Ratcliffe at the moment, that's for another video. For me, this is probably one of the only times this season we can actually talk about something positive. And for me, I don't hate the stadium. I actually really like it. I really like that. Like, because in my mind, I can accept to move on and it is time for a change. Where a lot of fans maybe not on that fence because, like I said, they've got that sentimental value to it. They've got that more connection to Old Trafford than I do. I love Old Trafford. I know what it means to the club and the history it invokes. But at the same time, like I said before in the video, that fans can't shout in front of the cameras or talk in debate about getting Manchester United back on top, but then wanting to keep Old Trafford. Like, for me, it just doesn't work like that. And the owner or majority shareholder in Sir Jim Ratcliffe has already said the new stadium is happening whether you like it or not. So if you feel that strongly about it, then don't support United, because this is happening with or without you. And Manchester United is a massive, massive club when it comes to fans. The fans are what make Old Trafford as good as it is. And for me, I feel like every Manchester United fan should be looking at that and be getting on board with it, because I know Sir Jim Ratcliffe hasn't, like, set the best standards. Like, first impressions count in my opinion, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe has made a lot of errors, like he claimed in his interview with Gary Neville on the overlap with the full interview. But at least he's showing some sort of like adventure or progression to where we need to be as a football club, because Ratcliffe has finally come out and spoken about how he feels about obviously the allegations when it comes to the mistakes he's made and the way he feels about how the club's been run, the financial side of everything. And you look at it and not that easy. Like, for me, I watched that interview and he gave me politician vibes almost. Like, you love the idea of what he's talking about, and some things I disagree with obviously with the way that with the staff cutting meal prices, the way we're having to scrape and save money. You know, if you save the pennies and the pounds will take care of themselves and all that bullshit that he talked about. But at the same time, I look at it and I'm like, he's showing progression. And I attended that protest as well. I don't know whether you saw it on my TikTok. I did the live stream during that protest. I was in that march. And the Glazers have shown not a care about Manchester United in over 20 years. Ratcliffe's been here in less than a year. And yes, he's made mistakes. But he's still wanting a better Manchester United. He's still wanting to take us to where we belong. And you can't expect him in the space of a year to like rescue the decade like failure post Fergie over 2 decades of the Glazer ownership, because we know about the dividends, we know about the debts, everything about the Glazers. The scum, they are vile. I don't know why someone hasn't taken them out yet, to be honest. Like, yeah, like America, you've got guns, do us a favour, like, please. But in all jokes aside, I just feel like that Ratcliffe can save himself, and I really think that, because he's showing that he cares about the club. Now, yes, you like I said before in the video, human beings don't like change, but at the same time, you've got to accept it, and progression is going to be there. I believe that with that interview with Ratcliffe, I've now got a better understanding. And I could be wrong, and I could be backing the wrong guy here. And he might have, I might be one of them small group of fans that has been almost hypnotised by Sir Jim Ratcliffe's words, and he could come and bite us in the ass, and he could be another Glazer 2.0. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to hope and pray that what he said in that interview with Gary Neville was 100% truthful, and that his actual ambition is to get Manchester United back on top, because that's all I want from my club. And I want to be winning trophies again. I want to be winning Premier League titles. I want to be back in the Champions League and know that we actually have a prey and an actual chance. And Ratcliffe said something in the interview with Gary Neville that he thinks that with what Ruben Amorim has done so far, with the group of players that they brought in the summer, he's done really well with him, and I agree. But Ratcliffe also said that the management team who decided to sign the players, who decided to appoint Ruben Amorim, they've not been together for over a year, but now they have. And going into this summer, if we can somehow find the right funds, it could be a very successful window. And with the small group of players we've already brought in, the likes of Matthias de Ligt, Patrick Dorgu, Manuel Ugarte, and the others, if we can sign more players in that category and that, I feel like United can become successful quicker than we actually think. We've been rotting for over a decade since Sir Alex has retired, right? But we have an opportunity to kind of, in the shadows, become a much better team. Now, Manchester United is probably the most talked about team in all of the country. So, no matter what progression United make, it'll always be broadcasted. But we're still the underdog, almost. We're a sleeping giant is the better way to put it. And you look at it and you're like, this isn't just about the stadium anymore. This is about the actual team. And the expectations for Manchester United are that they should be the best team in England. They're the biggest club in England. They're the best club in England, arguably the world. But they don't have the best team. And you look how much they've fallen in their own domestic league. And it's sickening. For a fan like myself, rival fans will love it. But you've got to look at it as a positive that Sir Jim Ratcliffe does care. And that's the only take I can take on it. Ineos are clearly making moves. New stadium. They plan on backing Ruben Amorim no matter what. Ratcliffe already said in his interview yesterday, no matter what happens this season, he'll be backed and he'll be here next summer. Or he'll be here in the summer. So I am 100% on board with the new stadium, the new project, and effing about what Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said. Yes, it's immoral when it comes to the sackings and the restrictions he's making. And yes, the fans will have to pay for probably the stadium and it will affect us. But at the same time, as Thanos said, the greatest wills come with the greatest sacrifices if anyone likes Marvel. At the end of the day, I don't know how to actually put this into words because I don't want to rub anyone off in the wrong way. But I'm just talking in front of my camera and I'm expressing my feelings that I'm actually on board with the stadium idea. I'm on board with the team. I'm on board with the project. And I just really hope that this doesn't divide the fan base even more because we're already split. We've already got multiple personality, preferences and opinions on the club and how it should be run and what players should be starting for the team. I really just hope this doesn't just cause more divide because being at that protest before the Arsenal game, that was probably the most united I've ever seen the fan base in such a long time. And I just hope we can get back to that and back in our team, hopefully winning trophies again. But the season's not over. We've got a big game against Real Sociedad later in the week. And hopefully we can just do better in the league. But yeah, if you made this far into the video, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you for watching as well. Subscribe if you are new and comment down below your thoughts on the Ratcliffe interview, the new stadium, and just anything. Call me a douchebag for all you care. I don't care, to be honest. But yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a like and I'll see you next one. Take care.